Stove up.
Babe.
Stove up.
Babe. I had better mute this. So then I guess we're done with Borderlands, right?
I guess you guys are.
Also intro time.
We're back.
Yay! Also, my heart.
Huh? Wait, what?
This.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Peter Pan and Wendy are finally reunited.
Oh god.
Oh.
Wait.
I gotta get a walk.
I have to ask.
Huh?
How long?
10 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What the fuck?
Okay,
Alright.
let's do this.
Oh god.
God, fuck you, Chicago. You have to sit and survive your fucking life today. Fuck you, Chicago.
I could almost say the same thing about my mother.
Huh?
Because she talked about the other day how she got one of those take and bake pizzas from the Walmart deli, and so while I was out today, guess what I got?
Oh.
A take and bake pizza from the Walmart
It's
deli.
a pepperoni pizza, and then I got like 4 small ones for Erica and the boys.
Yay!
January 1868.
Yep, January 1868.
That looks like fire.
Gee, I wonder what it is.
A mystery? I don't have the answer.
The war between the Shogun army and the Sacho began in Kyoto during the Battle of Toba Fushimi. Shogunate army originally refers to the army commanded by the Tokugawa shogunate or an army which it assembled, comprised of warriors from various domains. Sacho. Colloquial?
Oh,
Colloquial.
colloquial.
Yep.
Words, yay. Named to refer to the joint forces of the Satsuma Choshu domains. Battle of Toba Fushimi. A battle that erupted in January 1868 in Kyoto, Toba, and Fushimi. It was a battle between the new government and the shogunate troops. The shogunate troops lost. How sad. The Shinsengumi had been honorably tasked with guarding the Fushimi magistrate, but more terminology is interrupting us. Shinsengumi.
Why are you defining Shinsengumi? Why are you defining Shinsengumi? If you don't know what the Shinsengumi is and you're playing this game, you're stupid. Sorry.
I think I understand why, because it was released in 2 parts originally, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shinsengumi, a military unit made up of Ronin, mandated with restoring public order in Kyo. They were supported by the Aizu domain, and eventually they became shogunate vassals. Fushimi Magistrate, a government office that supervised the Fushimi Station and Yodo Riverbank, which is one of the 7 entrances to Kyo, where the Shinsengumi was stationed during the Battle of Toba Fushimi. Never would have guessed. Upon witnessing Sacho's devastating firepower, much of which had been purchased from Western arms dealers,
I wonder who that is.
Okay, we're gonna have to go to Iceland.
What?
We're gonna have to go to Iceland. There are no mosquitoes, snakes, or other reptiles, and they have very few species of spiders, none of which are harmful to humans.
Okay, we need to go to Iceland. We need to go to Iceland just for that. What else is considered a reptile?
Let's see, turtles, lizards.
Oh, not the turtles.
Well, I mean, they're kind of slow anyway, so I doubt they would be able to do anything.
Turtles are cute.
I know. I have a bazooka turtle.
The Shinsengumi were forced to retreat. In the ensuing chaos of the magistrate's evacuation, I was separated from the Shinsengumi, isolated amidst a sea of bullets and cannons firing overhead. I fled to the outskirts of Kyo, taking refuge in the vast forest until a traitorous band of ex-shogunate soldiers discovered me, where Kazuma, who was coincidentally passing by, came to my aid. Kazuma Chikage, a demon affiliated with the Satsuma domain. He heads the Kazuma clan and seeks the protagonist as his bride.
Don't worry, we're gonna break up a wedding.
I was also reunited with my father, Kodo Yukimura, as well as my estranged twin brother, Naguma Kaoru. Yukimura Kodo, the father of the protagonist. He has been missing since shortly after his arrival in Kyo. He was experimenting on the Shinsengumi using the water of life. He is rumored to be in western Japan. Naguma Kaoru, the protagonist's long-lost twin brother, the head of the Naguma clan, owns Daitsuren, the companion katana to the protagonist's Kodachi Shotsuren. But my father was no longer the same man I'd known growing up. Why is there another terminology?
Because of Kodo.
We just had him. Yukimura Kodo, while he was missing, he was with the Satsuma Choshu Alliance, continuing his research on Furies. Okay. Using a serum called the Water of Life to create Furies, he joined the Sacho side to help them overthrow the shogunate, in the hopes of reviving the Yukimura village. Water of Life, a substance imported from the west that turns those who drink it into Furies. Until we find by Yukimura Kodo, it was too toxic to use. Furies.
Here, have some nostalgia.
Eh? Nostalgia?
He's talking to me.
Yeah.
Oh, how's it
They need to put that on Disney Plus.
Furies.
Cowards won't fucking do it.
Yukimura Kodo was able to improve the Furies, making them able to function under sunlight. Overthrowing the shogunate, the movement, military and political, to oust the shogunate from power. Yukimura clan, the largest demon clan in eastern Japan, they resided in the northeast but were destroyed by the humans, the protagonist's home. To my horror, my father and brother revealed that they'd been creating new, more powerful Furies to aid the Sacho. This would certainly thrust the Shinsengumi into deadlier battles than ever before. The defeated Shinsengumi had made for Osaka Castle. Kazuma and I headed after them. Osaka Castle, built by Hideyoshi Toyotomi during the Warring States era. It was a stronghold of the shogunate and considered impregnable. On the way, we met up with Sen, Kimigiku, Amagiri, and Shiranui. Jesus Christ! Princess Sen, or Sanhime, one of the demons the protagonist met and killed. She is close in age to the protagonist, and she often checks in on her. Kimigiku, a demon who serves Sanhime as her personal bodyguard and spy. She works as a geigi in Shimabara to gather information from her clients. Amagiri Kyuju, a demon affiliated with Satsuma domain. He is a master of hand-to-hand combat and is often seen with Kazuma. Shiranui Kyo, a man who, with incredible skill, he is connected to the Choshu domain. His gunplay is very impressive. He is a good friend of Tagasugi Shinsaku. I realized that I didn't know anything about Kazuma, or the rest of the demons. Demon! Stronger and more powerful than human. They have rapid healing powers. Kazuma Chikage, Shiranui Kyo, and Amagiri Kyuju are among their numbers. Sen advised that we head to Edo to find the Shinsengumi, and so we set off once more. Edo! There's police passing by. Edo, Tokugawa Shogunate's base of operations. It is both the Shinsengumi and the protagonist's hometown. I'm just gonna get water now.
After reading all those definitions.
Yeah.
Don't blame you.
Yes, I have raspberry white tea.
Fun.
Yeah.
There's fog. The wind gently caressed my cheeks on our route to Edo, singing its hushed song through the pines. We proceeded down the mountain road, mist drifting all around us. The Tokaido was still under Shogunate's jurisdiction. Shogunate refers to the Shogunate government. Here, it is pointing specifically to the Tokugawa Shogunate. Really? Really?
It's the late Edo period, and it's referring to the Tokugawa Shogunate. I never could have guessed.
For Kazuma, who was affiliated with the Satsuma, this was enemy territory. Satsuma domain, a domain governed by an outer daimyo named Shimazu. Initially, they supported imperial unification, but eventually allied with the Choshu domain and other like-minded men in the interest of removing the shogunate. In order to avoid unnecessary trouble, we had no choice but to abandon our horse and use a path off the main trail. Bye, horsey! We didn't have you for long. I wondered if the Shinsengumi men were all safe and sound. Were they all able to reunite with one another and reach Edo? The branches scraped my arms and as my eyes struggled to make out anything in the darkness. I still pushed forward.
Would you settle down? At this pace, you're going to overexert yourself well before we reach an inn.
Your concern is appreciated. But I want to get to Edo as soon as possible.
No. We'll rest here today.
But...
Your Supreme Commander, Tokugawa Yoshinobu-sama, has already lost the will to fight.
Supreme Commander refers to the Tokugawa Shogunate's Supreme Commander. Tokugawa Yoshinobu, 15th Commander-in-Chief of the Tokugawa Shogunate. Since he returned political power to the imperial court, he is currently in the position of Tokugawa clan head.
The Shogunate people can be painfully obtuse. It will be some time before they gather themselves enough for a counterattack. Without a war to fight, Kodo will have no choice. Will have no chance to put his plan into action. Rushing serves no purpose.
Kazuma might have been right. And besides, likely because I had been aggressively marching through rough terrain, my feet were swollen, throbbing to the point that every step was painful.
As luck would have it, I believe I see a deserted house over there. Let us rest there for now.
Fine. I hesitantly followed after Kazuma.
And first yawn of the night, it sounds like.
Second, actually.
Oh.
Most of my yawns are silent.
Okay, it was the first audible one. How's that?
There you go. The house itself was very modest in size. A fine film of dust covered every inch of the floor, giving me the impression that it had been vacated ages ago. Is it really alright for the two of us to come into someone's house?
I would sooner call this a hut than a house. Obviously vacant. There should be no issue making use of it. You go ahead and sleep outside if you like. You'll freeze to death before morning comes.
Although the thought of intruding upon someone's house somewhat unsettled me, I couldn't afford to die out here. Not before I found my father and brother and put a stop to their plans. Fortunately, there was some bedding stashed away, so at the very least I wouldn't freeze to death. Kazuma's eyes darted around the room, and he stepped towards a sunken fire pit, crouching down to take a pinch of old soot between his fingers. Being alone in this derelict house with him was dreadfully awkward. I sat in silence as I watched him examine the fireplace. Eventually, he reached into his pocket and pulled out pieces of flint to start a fire.
Why are you carrying flint around in your sleeves?
Good question.
Excuse me, Kazuma. I can light the fire.
Boop.
Be quiet and sit tight. This will warm us soon enough.
But isn't building a fire a little bit more difficult than that?
Back when I lived in Edo with my father, or even when I lived with the Shinsengumi, it was rare that we would need to build a fire from scratch. More often than not, we'd go and get embers from their neighbors.
Yes, building a fire can be quite difficult. But only humans abhor that which is difficult.
Kazuma held each piece of flint in his hands, clapping them together in a swift motion to produce sparks. Once more he reached into his pocket, pulling from it some paper to use as kindling. Soon a fire was blazing in the old worn-out fire pit. Kazuma has things for fire. Good to know. Although Kazuma was the one who suggested that the two of us rest here for the night, he didn't look exhausted in the slightest. Had he suggested it for my sake?
Come a little closer to the fire. You're shivering.
Oh, yes.
Why did I think of that song?
Huh? What?
Swear to God, I'm going to make a really long spoke I hate Kazama and then take it out of spite.
Wait,
The
wait.
song, the song that I was thinking of was "Jay and the Americans Come a Little Closer."
Huh?
Come a little bit closer, you're my kind of.
Jesus. I did as
And now it's gonna make me want to watch Guardians Volume 2 tonight.
I did as he instructed and approached him beside the fire, reaching out to warm my hands. The cold slowly dissipated from my limbs. It was nice and warm.
Ah, CG time.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, fuck me.
There you go.
For anybody interested.
Shadows twisted and flickered upon Cosmo's face as he gazed quietly into the fire. I realized I knew almost nothing about him or the demon clans. To me, they were simply beings that opposed the Shinsengumi at every turn. And that, as a demon woman, I was their target. This was the extent of my knowledge, and I knew even less about Cosmo himself. No, not just him. I didn't even know what demons were to begin with.
Kazuma, would you mind telling me about demons?
Where did this come from?
If what you said my father and my brother all said was true, then I am part of a demon clan, right? But I can't help but feel so disconnected from it all. I have no idea where demons came from, how long they've been around, or what they even are. That's why I want to know more about myself, and about all of you, too.
Cosmo stared straight ahead into the fire. For a moment he was silent, then turned his crimson gaze onto me.
Ugh. I hate the way that's worded.
Why?
A crimson gaze. It implies like bloodlust.
Well, it's just his eyes are red.
Yeah.
I know. It's just as Bob Ross would say, a happy accident. No, wait, an unhappy accident.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just try to, like, demonstrate the point that taking character hate is wrong by writing a whole bunch of Kazuma hate and putting it in his tag.
Oh, God.
I don't know how the demons came to be, nor when they decided to settle in this country. But I do know one thing. The cycle of strife and bloodshed between demons and humans is this tale as old as time. I had to absolutely stop myself from doing it.
Oh, jeez.
We demons will never lose to a human if it is a one-on-one duel, but what humans have that we do not is the gift of numbers. A tiger may be the toughest hunter, but there's a limit to how much prey it can hunt at once.
You mean they can do math and you can't? Sorry.
Jesus.
That's the truth. Demons can't do math. That's why
No.
humans are better at architecture.
However, human greed has no limit.
That's why Cosmo's obsessed with human architecture.
We should send him to
Cosmo's-
Greece. We need to send him to Greece.
Kazuma is such a racist. I just can't even get over how much of a racist he is. Like, I get he has his reasons, but, like, at the same time, like, how can you spend so much time living in Kyoto and think that every human is exactly the same?
Exactly.
I mean, that's just a pretty big, unfortunate, it was what happened during the Korean War. It's just like, oh yeah, all of them yellow-eyed, or yellow-skinned devils look the same. I did read it. Thus, long ago, demon clans decided to exile themselves far away from humans. Some demons, however, refuse to run and hide from such inferior creatures.
Yes, they did.
Many chose to fight, and many more were exterminated without remorse.
You mean the demons in legends and folk tales?
Some of those stories refer to our kin that scattered across these lands. Not all of them, mind you.
Blah blah blah. Crimea River, Kazama. Your people died, and it's terribly sad. Humans do
You're
that
gonna-
to other humans. They don't
Start
just do it to you.
You're about to sound like Justin Timberlake, aren't you?
I'm channeling my inner Hijikata, which is very soon going to be my outer Hijikata.
Oh god.
I mean, you do have the hair to match.
I do.
Just need to get you some purple contacts.
I wondered to myself how the demon clans might have coped with being driven into hiding. Listening to Kazuma's story raised so many questions for me. Oh god.
Oh,
You want to hear
So-
more about the Yukimura clan,
Yeah.
probably.
The clan.
no, you don't. You want to know why he opposed the Shinsengumi.
Really?
Oh,
That's
really?
That's his good ending.
Okay, so okay.
Okay.
That's
Tell
what
me
it
why
says.
you hate the Shinsengumi.
That's what it says on Otome Labyrinth.
Okay. I trust Otome Labyrinth, I guess.
Kazuma, you mentioned that the demon clans who chose to live away from human society. So why do you associate with the Sacho and oppose the Shinsengumi?
It's said that demons typically avoided all interaction with humans. And yet, Cosmo had taken up his sword to fight for the Sacho's cause. It didn't make sense. It doesn't! Honestly.
It
It doesn't.
That's
It
why
honestly
I gave,
doesn't.
That's why I gave him that debt. Kazuma was expressionless, only narrowing his eyes slightly.
There is no longer any place left for us to hide.
Bullshit!
What?
The average human knows nothing of our existence. However, the domain leaders and elites have been well acquainted with our people for ages. 200 years ago, during the Warring States period. Some of the warlords and daimyo successfully employed demons to conquer this entire land.
Daimyo, a powerful samurai with an income of over 10,000 koku. They serve the
Bales
shogun
of
territory.
straw!
God damn it! Not the
What?
bales of straw again! Bales of
That's
straw!
a straw! Stop it! That's the word that they mistranslated into straw bales was koku.
Straw bales.
Sorry.
No! Because only we get it.
One such example, Yukimura Chizuru, was your clan.
What?
During the Battle of
Sekigahara.
Sekigahara.
Sekigahara, it was your ancestors who aided Tokugawa Ieyasu in his campaign to conquer this country with military
It's just-
force.
It's just okay to say it, yeah.
Well,
how you say it.
that's because I kind of had it windowed a little bit. I had to full screen it.
No.
Oh god, it's a paragraph. Does anybody else want to read it?
Sure, I'll do it.
Thank
Okay.
The battle which pitted two halves of Japan against each other and ended with the Tokugawa clan's victory. Those who sided with the Tokugawa became the hereditary daimyo, while those who did not became the elder daimyo, and subsequently endured long years of harsh treatment by the shogunate. The Satsuma domain is one of the later. So are the Choshu. So are the Tosa.
Gosh, the Sacho are both in the ladder on that. Oh boy.
Yeah, they're all of them are older domain.
Tosa.
Tokugawa Ieyasu, the first commander-in-chief of the Edo shogunate. This person was the one who founded the Tokugawa shogunate.
Imagine that. A guy with the last name Tokugawa founded the Tokugawa shogunate. I never could have guessed.
Nah, you
Yeah.
don't say.
Well, now I have more information on the Yukimuras.
You know about the Yukimura? Oh, yeah. I mean, I wonder if her clan is connected. I have to look up what the.
Eh?
You do have more. You do have more information on the Yukimura. They helped Tokugawa Ieyasu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how the fuck do I connect that to Shinami?
I don't know. You'll figure it out. I
Eh,
believe in
figure
him.
it out. The Battle of Sekigahara was one of the most important battles in our country's history, signifying the pivotal shift of power into Tokugawa hands. To think that my ancestors had a hand in influencing this outcome.
対して我ら風間家天桐家は
The Kazuma and Amagiri clans were allied with Tokugawa's enemies in the west.
It's
今
true.
回薩摩藩に手を貸しているのはその時の縁
Our current allegiance with the Satsuma domain is a simple continuation of our previous arrangement.
My brain is working. My brain is working with this information that
Your brain.
after they lost, somebody had to repair the relationship between the clan and the domain, I guess.
知らぬいは我々とは異なる理由
Shiranui, on the other hand, appears to be serving the Choshu for reasons of his own.
He just really wants to fuck humans.
What?
I'll read it if you want.
Sure.
A domain government governed by Takachika Mori. Really? Oh, that makes sense that the Choshu are Mori. An elder daimyo. Most members of this domain were national imperialists during the early part of the Bakumatsu period, and later attempted more directly to overthrow the shogunate.
Yay.
Yay, Bakumatsu.
Shoulda knew he was only serving because he made a human friend.
Yeah, sure, I told you it's because he wants to fuck humans.
However, this shall be the last time our people involve ourselves with human conflict.
薩摩ももはや我々の力
Satsuma are no longer dependent on our aid either,
倒幕は半ば
as they have been more than successful in their toppling of the shogunate.
Yeah, and guess who's responsible for that? Sakamoto, not you, dumbass. A human! Whoa!
One human with connections.
I like Sakamoto in this game. I like Sakamoto, I like his wife, but I don't like his wife at all.
I suddenly remembered the Shinsengumi men, and my eyes fell to the floor. The flames continued to cackle, punctuating the silence floating between Kazuma and me.
明日も早い今日のところはもう寝ておけ
We leave early tomorrow morning. Rest while you can.
In all honesty, I wanted to continue talking with Kazuma for a little longer, but
You're right. I will then.
we still had to walk through the mountain tomorrow, so I needed every minute of rest that I could get. It wasn't until I'd gotten close enough to the musty bedding that something occurred to me.
Kazuma, do you really expect me to sleep here?
他に部屋が
How many other rooms do you see?
But
As I listened carefully for any sound outside of the house, I picked up none, not a single bird nor insect. It was only the two of us. We were completely alone.
どうした？寝るの？
What's wrong? Weren't you going to sleep?
I am.
Cosmo
Didn't
was
do
a-
it already.
Cosmo was a man, well, a demon. And I, in spite of my current attire, a woman.
Cosmo was a man. He was a demon man. Maybe it was just a demon. He was still.
Despite outward appearances, you were a man. Despite outward appearances, a woman, so you're a man. Girl?
We'll be right back.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh. How could I possibly sleep sharing a room with him?
You better get used to
Oi.
it.
Should I be prepared for the worst? I pull my bedding over to the opposite side of the fire pit.
I'm dragging my bedding over this way. Far away from you, but where I can still reach the warmth.
Cosmo picked up on it, a slight amused smile stretching across his face.
なるほど。先ほどから
I
妙
see.
に緊張していると思う。
I noticed you were oddly nervous, but now I understand why.
It only took your dumbass this long to figure it out.
Is that an issue?
No.
I mean, I am a woman technically. I just figured it was better to be safe than sorry.
Had I said something funny? His eyes narrowed as they darted toward me. He spoke, his voice just above a whisper.
襲ってほしい。
Would you like me to take you?
No!
Would
No!
you like me to take you?
Shit!
Of course not!
My cheeks were burning, and not because of the fire.
冗談だ。この俺を獣か何かだと思っているのか、お前。
That was a joke. What sort of beast do you take me for?
Too many things, Kazuma! Way too many things!
Demons hold tradition and decorum to a high standard. Fear not, for I will not touch you until we have exchanged our wedding vows.
What a
Marriage
gentleman.
vows.
What a gentleman. Yet, will absolutely try to kidnap. That's apparently nothing that's not against any sort of demon tradition.
Professionals have standards.
So you kidnap.
Marriage! But I have no intention of marrying you.
いいから今日は寝ろ。
Just go to sleep.
明日も厳しい行軍になる。
Tomorrow will be even more grueling. Rest while you can.
His tone was harsh, but his words were kind. So I did as he instructed and slipped into the bedding. I still didn't trust him, though. But at the very least, he didn't strike me as the kind to lie. More than that, I should be worrying about my father and brother. If the Shinsengumi ended up in battle against my father's furies, I shuddered to think of it. I had to stop them, whatever it took. I shut my eyes uneasily, falling asleep as the fire crackled hauntingly behind me. When I awoke...
Here.
I felt as though I closed my eyes and opened them a second later. Oh god, that feeling.
Yeah.
He's still there. There he is. In the
He's,
daylight.
yeah, it turns out he's just a statue. He's actually a gargoyle.
Cosmo was fixed in place, sitting exactly where he had been when I first fell asleep. It was like no time had passed at all. But the sunlight entered the room, and the sound of birds chirping told me it was morning.
Is it morning?
No.
目が覚めた
Welcome back.
支度ができ次第出
You
発
have awoken. As soon as you're ready, we will depart.
Understood.
I felt like I hadn't slept at all. But at the very least, I was able to recuperate somewhat from the previous day.
Excuse me, Kazuma. Did you stay up the whole night?
全く眠らなかった
Not the
わ
whole night.
Did you fall asleep sitting like that? Or so he claimed. It seemed to me that he had stayed awake to tend the fire and keep me warm.
Thank you.
Drink.
Drink time.
Never want to see anyone call Hijikata tsundere again after playing this route. You
They're
fucking
so-
better not.
They're still going to, and you know it.
I know they are. The difference is Hijikata's doing it on purpose. He's not doing it. He's doing it he's doing it to alienate people on purpose. Like, get off my ass.
It's like a slow warm up.
Mhm.
That's what he is.
It's slow burn.
Yeah, that's the word.
それは何に対する
Why are you thanking me? I do not recall doing anything to deserve your gratitude.
早く身支度をしろ
Just hurry up and get ready. You want to find Kodo as soon as possible, do you not?
That's a big bitch.
Kazuma never looked my way the entire time he spoke, and he exited the room as soon as the words left his mouth. My initial impression of him was a curt, egotistical man who intimidated and murdered his foes without remorse. But
It's still true.
he didn't seem to be a bad person deep down.
Chizuru,
Yeah,
you're
Sure.
smoking copium.
Let's hope she doesn't get a copium addiction.
Oh god.
She will.
It's too bad what happened with the Chinese against the British with the Opium Wars.
Oh god. I hadn't felt this way since I'd become separated from the Shinsengumi men. It gave a little bit of joy, and a soft smile stretched
She's
across my face.
inside. She's just like, "Where's my reverse harem at?"
Where are my boys? I require my boys. Where are they?
See, you're just projecting the Shinsengumi onto him because you miss them.
Yeah, exactly.
Kazuma and I continued down the mountain path. At long last, we reached a milestone, passing beside the most precipitous
Precipitous, yeah.
precipitous mountain in the country, Hakone. Edo would be just beyond it. As we tried passing the checkpoint, however, they actually translated Sekisho. Hakone checkpoint, a place to oversee the flow of people passing through the Tokaido. Entry into and departure from Edo was strictly monitored.
It was.
Yay, Sekisho.
That's why
What's
Makoto
translate?
went and dragged from Edo to Kyoto because she couldn't get through it without a male relative, so she just pretended to be a man.
Please wait.
I believe it's Amagiri. Maybe.
Please wait.
A voice suddenly called out to us from behind. Aha!
Magiri, what are you doing here?
I am on my way to deliver a confidential letter on behalf of the Satsuma to another domain. What a coincidence to run into two of you on my way there. Just ignore the Satsuma's orders. Situation as it is, I can topple the shogunate without our help. I had a feeling you'd say that. I am here on my own volition. I figured there to be no need to cast the Satsuma aside just yet. Suit yourself. The two of you have made excellent time to Edo, but just how do you plan on passing through the checkpoint?
Huh? Well,
Kazuma had been acting so casually about it, I hadn't stopped to think it would be an issue.
I would just kill them if they tried to stop us.
Oh, Jesus. I glanced at him, assuming he had some way prepared.
I just said I'm going to kill them if they stop us. I have a pass, I just have to use it. Forgive me, but the situation has changed quite a bit since we were issued those passes. We served the Satsuma, the ones who opposed the shogunate. I am certain that if you present your pass, they will stop to verify your identities. And furthermore, you don't even serve the Satsuma anymore.
Yeah, you can't use their pass. You don't serve them anymore.
Enough of your riddles. What are you trying to say? I recommend that the two of you find another path. Perhaps something more remote to sneak into Edo.
Kazuma looked visibly annoyed by Amakiri's suggestion.
Just shut the fuck up, Kakarot. Another path? Are you expecting us to find a passable trail through the mountains of Hakone?
That's what I just said. No, that's literally what I just said.
I am simply advising that it would be unwise to cause a scene. The shogunate was soundly defeated by the Satsuma at Toba Fushimi. They won't dare quarrel with them.
Are you stupid? Of course they will.
You dense motherfucker. They may choose to look the other way once they find out we are affiliated with the Satsuma. You underestimate humans. Just because the Supreme Commander was so willing to abdicate his position in the heat of battle does not mean that all humans are so quick to realize their plight. Take the Shinsengumi, for example. Damn you, Amakiri. Where do you get the gall to speak to me so audaciously?
It was a long time coming, damn it.
Yeah, you fucking deserve it. Get over it, pretty boy.
Each of Amakiri's straightforward suggestions were met by Kazuma's growing anger.
You bougie fucking punk. You rich bitch child who knows nothing of the world.
Why do I imagine when Haruka is there, she's just enjoying this?
Haruka's just like, yeah.
She's just there, like, encouraging him along, like...
Crash him more,
Yes!
Amakiri.
Oh god, I just realized that would mean both Chizuru and Takeda are there watching this happen as well, and they don't understand why Haruka's clapping.
Takeda's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's been a thorn in my side since I was 15. Let me have this!
Do you know what the humidity is doing to my hair? Can we please just hurry?
and we move on. This humidity is unbearable.
It's January!
It's kind of humid in January. You've never been to Wisconsin. Oh my god.
It can get humid out here in the winter too.
Okay. If they continue to bicker publicly, then the soldiers stationed at the checkpoint would surely notice. I must find a way to
I want to see something happen.
Just let Chizuru solve it. Just like Chizuru be like, with the Shinsengumi, and then they'll verify with the Shinsengumi, and Nishikawa will show up and be like, what the fuck, Chizuru?
Okay, I'm looking at this as if one would get into a nightclub and everything. All she has to do is just walk up to them and just expose her top to them, and they'd be like, okay, you can pass.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. I don't think it works that way.
I don't think I needed that in my head.
Funny. It'd be so fucking funny.
Oh god. I must find a way to calm down Kazuma.
I'm pretty sure Hanukkah has that down. She would put him on ice.
Kazuma, you are the head of a demon clan!
My father will notice.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
My father will notice.
My
us.
father will notice us, but I wanted to say, Kazuma, you are the head of a demon clan in that voice.
Hanukkah would probably say that. It's like, fucking keep your temper in check, damn it.
You're supposed to be the head of a demon clan. Act like it.
If the two of us have trouble entering the city, then we may draw my father's attention. Although the trip may take a little bit longer, we should probably look for another route.
Cosmo's lips pursed momentarily, carefully thinking over what I had said.
And there's the love point.
確かに奴らにこちらの動きを
You
教
raise
え
a
てや
good
る義理もない
point.
か
We wouldn't want them to know of our whereabouts.
まあいい
Very
お前が
well.
構わぬというなら
If you have no objections, then we shall find a different trail.
ただし
However,
うちがどれだ
I
け険し
won't
くて
hear
も
a
泣き言は
word
聞か
of
んぞ
complaint if the road is proves too treacherous. Understood?
I don't think Chizuru's the one to complain about shit like that.
I understand.
それでは
Very well. I will be on my way now.
道
Do
中
be careful.
お気をつけください
Amakiri bowed respectfully. Without another word, he spun on his heel and vanished into the desolate wintry forest.
Whoosh.
Whoosh! Kazuma and I walked away from the checkpoint towards an uphill trail that was far from the well-trodden path.
早くも息が切れてきたようだなだから
Already out of breath, are you? See, I told you this would be too much for you. Okay. No. It's...
Fuck you, Okuta. Dessert.
No, I'm fine.
The inclines around Hakone were far steeper than I had imagined. A billow of thick mist stretched all around me, throwing me off balance. Just then, my foot slipped upon a loose rock and I nearly tumbled off the hill into the valley below. When Cosmo instantly grabbed my hand.
大事はないか
Are you alright?
In one swift, forceful movement, he yanked me back up onto the trail. It took me some time to gather myself enough to speak. I couldn't believe that Cosmo, who'd clashed with the Shinsengumi time and time again, had actually come to my aid. We're about to learn some shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first time, but I just couldn't get used to it.
なぜ返事をせぬ怪我でもしたのか
Why aren't you answering? Are you injured?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Drink. Let's continue.
Cosmo spun around to continue trudging through the trail, keeping my hand tightly clasped in his. Here it comes. There you go. For all your needs, apparently.
I don't have any needs for him.
Kazuma, what are you doing?
俺とはなんだ
What do you mean, what?
You're still, holding my hand.
Kazuma forcibly yanked my hand as he marched forward.
そっちは危ないぞ俺の後ろをちゃんとついてこい
This section is treacherous. Stay close behind me.
Oh, thank you.
Drink.
Stop it, Chizuru!
What, you don't like being hydrated?
I was still scared of how steep the trail was, but I followed close behind him, hand in his. His grasp was surprisingly warm and comforting. I almost forgot that they belonged to someone who could kill as easily as breathing. Suddenly, I remembered what had happened at the checkpoint and I tugged at him slightly.
Excuse me, Kazuma.
なんだ
What?
Earlier when you were insisting on passing through the checkpoint, was that for my sake?
Initially, Kazuma had no response.
お前たち女鬼は我々を
Demon women are different from demon men.
負った傷こそすぐ
Although your wounds can regenerate,
体力や
your stamina and strength are no different from a human woman. Human women? What?
Wait,
鬼の
did
底
it?
から出ることは
Yeah.
Oh, no.
その身は男鬼たちに
Huh.
Therefore, the demon women rarely leave their village and stay under the protection of demon men.
I'll show you the protection of demon men. Fuck you, Chikage.
You get your ass kicked later by Haruka. In other words, it was natural for him as a demon man to protect me from harm. He demonstrated this not through his words, but through his actions. In a way, it reminded me of how the Shinsengumi had kept me safe.
もうしばらく悪路が続く
This difficult stretch will go on for some distance. Keep holding my hand.
I will.
So far, I get that she's falling for him because she keeps comparing him to the Shinsengumi. So, to me, that seems like copium.
Yeah, it is. Also, have a really cool crossover.
Never once crossed my mind that I might end up crossing Hakone hand in hand with Kazuma. As soon as we crossed over to the other side of this mountain, we would arrive in Edo. Did Father truly intend on using Furies to wage war in the city? I had to
Yes.
stop him before anyone fell victim.
Me, this is a hard escape room. Boss, you're at work.
Chapter 2 1868 March.
I don't know why I made the talking motion with my hand.
I
Oh
don't.
my god. I'm so happy there's only 4 chapters. Oh, I always
Eh?
forget everyone has one less chapter because I mostly just play Hijikata's route, and I just realized there's only 4 chapters!
Yes, there's only 4 chapters. We just 3 chapters left. That's it. That's all.
I'm so fucking happy. I'm
Yeah.
never so happy that everybody has one less chapter than Hijikata in my life.
Even though, wait, how many end up in Ezo anyway?
Iba, Soma. Iba and Soma do.
Yeah. This
I
bitch.
think that's it.
Technically,
And this bitch.
This bitch.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
I think that's it though. Toshi. But yeah.
Do we count the Chizuru?
Yeah, let's count the common route. The generic common route. 5.
5.
Out of the 13.
Huh. Okay.
Cause Harada doesn't.
Nope.
Okita doesn't. Saito doesn't.
Nagakura doesn't.
Nakakura doesn't.
Sana doesn't. Yamazaki
Sanin doesn't. Yamazaki doesn't. Ryoma doesn't. Yeah, so just them.
Yeah. And
Though I
then-
missed one.
Huh.
Heisuke doesn't.
Oh yeah.
That's
Whoops.
I'm so sorry. So yeah, a third of the routes plus Chizuru's generic route end up in Ezel.
At the end of our brutal hike through Hakone's mountain, we safely arrived in Edo. It was a stroke of good fortune that neither Father nor Nogata had seemed to hear of our presence.
Oh, that would be. You are offered $3 billion, but you can never buy alcohol again. Can you do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it specifically says you are not allowed to buy alcohol again. But you hand the money off to somebody else and be like, go buy this for me, otherwise I lose all my money.
I wouldn't.
I don't
It would
drink,
be fine. I would pay off my student debt, put a bunch of it in a savings account, buy myself a house, and live there.
I would immediately go buy myself a house.
Yeah.
I don't want
I
to
would
live
use
with
that
people
money.
anymore.
I would use that to immediately pay off my house.
Yes.
You know what else I'd do with it? Because it's a lot of money. I would pay for you and I to go on a trip to Japan to all the Shinzugumi locations and cry.
Yeah. That'd be a nice vacation.
It would be a nice crying about the Shinzugumi. A nice
God.
vacation. It'd be horrible. It'd be good.
Oh god. My first order of business was reunited with the Shinsengumi after weeks of separation, and so I set off in search of their headquarters, but... the headquarters of the Shinsengumi where members lived and took their meals, also referred to as a compound!
I keep calling it the compound. That's what I call it.
I think I change between the two, depending how I feel.
Depending on your mood.
Yeah.
And the weather.
This t-shirt definitely describes you. I don't want to be where the people are.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be with you.
Ugh.
Oh no, now
Also-
I have swim this way stuck in my head. Fuck.
Oh my god, why?
Because you mentioned the Little Mermaid, so my mind was like,
I
Little
mean, to be
Mermaid.
fair, Silvas and I, we were talking a lot about Kingdom Hearts today because we were listening to a bunch of the music.
Oh my
So,
god.
this tracks.
Swim this way.
I
Fuck.
I don't want to live with people. I think today or yesterday... No, it was definitely yesterday. I walk into my room, I just smell cigarette smoke from outside. Fuck that. I don't know where it's coming
Ew.
from. They
Can
took-
I just live in like the middle of the woods with a Wi-Fi connection?
Yes,
Yes.
I would second this. They'd already set off for their next battle.
No, they set off for Kofu.
Oh god, Kofu.
Yeah.
新選組の連中が甲府に向かっただ
The Shinsengumi are heading to Kofu?
Kofu! Territory to the west of Edo under the jurisdiction of the shogunate. No specific lord or domain governs this plot of land. It is vacant.
What a desolate place this is.
It's not vacant, and fucking Katsukaishu knew it wasn't vacant, and he sent him there anyway. And I'm not going to let that go. Anyway. Oh, Katsukaishi was a pacifist. He just sent a bunch of men to their death out of spite.
I heard it from Matsumoto-sensei.
Matsumoto Ryujun, a respected doctor who works for the Tokugawa shogunate, affiliated with the Shinsengumi.
I'll never forget that poster the Hijikata Toshizo Museum was like, and he approved of the fucking Ishida powder medicine.
Oh god.
I'm not over that.
I had also discovered that the Shinsengumi renamed themselves as the Koyo Regulatory Company. Koyo Regulatory Company, a name given to the Shinsengumi by the shogunate, is a formal title on their mission to Kofu. Yay!
Yeah, and Kondo and Hijikata briefly changed their names too, but I can't remember to what because
It
who
didn't
cares?
last long. It didn't last long in the long run.
No.
They had set out for Kofu as they were tasked with protecting the territory surrounding Kofu Castle. Kofu Castle, Tokugawa Ieyasu established this castle as the last line of defense to protect Edo's western side.
Me. How unbelievably foolish of them.
How unbelievably foolish of them.
せっかく鳥羽伏見で拾った命をむざむざ捨てに行くとはな。
Sorry.
Their lives were graciously spared in Toba Fushimi, and now they're just as eager to throw them away.
What? They're not being foolish.
They are, but it's okay, Chizuru. You can say it, I can say it, but he can't. He's not allowed to.
Then what are they?
徳川慶喜はこれ以上の争いを避けるため寺にこもって謹慎している。
Tokugawa Yoshinobu confined himself in a temple to avoid further bloodshed.
Well, technically, he was sent there as a form of house arrest, but like, whatever.
Temple house arrest.
And yet here they are, deliberately fanning the flames of war. Neither the Tokugawa affiliate daimyo nor the hereditary daimyo want anything to do with them. It's a hopeless endeavor. Defeat is guaranteed.
Tokugawa affiliate daimyo refers to the members of the Tokugawa clan who became daimyo. Hereditary daimyo vassals who pledged their loyalty to Tokugawa before the Battle of Sekigahara.
So, like, the Date and shit.
Yay.
Nah.
I couldn't quite believe what I was hearing. Was Kazuma expressing concern over the well-being of the Shinsengumi?
No.
I can't say whether or not their decision was wise, but I don't think they're looking at it in terms of losses or gains.
I knew that the Shinsengumi warriors were focused on something more important than winning or losing. I wasn't a warrior, so perhaps I was unable to completely understand them.
All of them follow the path they believe in. I can say that for certain.
Kazuma glanced at me from the corner of his eye, raising an eyebrow irritably at my suggestion. His anger grew stronger, and I shivered nervously.
Path they believe in, you say? They're no different than an injured beast lashing out.
Injured beast?
I need Makoto playing tennis with Hanukkah using Chibi Kazuma as a ball.
What?
an injured beast.
I'm sorry. I have that image in my head now.
It's a funny image. Fuck Hikage. I hate him so much. I know the point of his route is that he learns he's wrong, but hearing all the wrong shit he says just pisses me off. And the thing is that if I were asked about the Shinsengumi during the Battle of Kofu, like I would actually criticize them doing that. But when he says it, it's wrong. He's not allowed to. And I am so Hijikata pill.
Yes, you are. Kazuma was dismissing all the Shinsengumi's hard work, difficulties, and values. What?
I found it funny.
You found a... Oh my god!
Oh no.
I see.
Yeah, it's a witchy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
The Shinsengumi were nowhere near as savage and desperate as he seemed to think. However, as much as I wanted to argue, I chose not to.
Why the fuck not, Yukimura?
Ozma's logic about the Shinsengumi is that it's both savages,
Barely even humans!
as well as gold.
Kazuma.
Fucking
Kazuma may have been assuming things about them, but I realized that I was doing the same. There was no sense in getting into a fight over something neither of us actually knew anything about.
That's fair.
Forget about the Shinsengumi. I don't care in the less. And at the moment,
Oh,
I
he
couldn't
used
care
that
less.
correctly.
I couldn't care less at the moment.
Hey, he actually used it correct. High five, Kazama. This is the first and last time I'll ever say that.
Have you found the whereabouts of Kodo and Nagamo Kado?
Unfortunately, no.
God damn it.
I had asked Matsumoto-sensei as well as father's old acquaintances, but none of them seemed to have any clue where the two of them could be.
If they are as adamant as they claim about going through with overthrowing the shogunate, then Edo will soon descend into chaos.
Overthrowing the shogunate #2. A formally staged coup to oust the shogunate from power. What started as political maneuvering turned into all-out war when the shogunate did not go quietly.
If you make our life hell, we'll make yours short.
Feeding father's army of furies would require a copious amount of blood. Many people's worth.
They're applying the Genghis Khan logic and everything. Don't make our lives hard, and we won't make yours short.
Jesus.
Oh, Temujin. Temujin is one of my favorite warlords of all time.
I had to stop my father before it came to that. As I reminded myself of what I'd committed myself to, Cosmo suddenly said something unexpected.
No matter. I will eradicate both of them and their army of fakes.
Fake! What demons call the Furies? Really, only
Specifically,
Kazuma.
it's what Kazuma said.
Only Kazuma. Really.
I've seen Amagiri call them fakes, but I think he just does it because Kazuma does it, and it's just easier for him to communicate what he's saying.
He only does it when Kazuma's around. Which is...
That's true.
He's around him like 90% of the time.
The thing is that they're not actually the same thing as you are, Kazuma, nor are they trying to be, and I don't know why you think they are. You're just like that offended by anyone else having powers like even remotely close to yours.
That's fake news.
Oh, jeez.
Even
Okay.
he wouldn't be a Trump
Kazuma.
supporter. That's insulting to Kazuma.
Anyway.
You stay with this Matsumoto person you mentioned? Or stay at the Shinsengumi headquarters if it suits you better.
Huh? Cosmo's question blindsided me.
What are you talking about? I can deal with my father and brother myself.
No.
俺がヤセの女
My
の子と交わ
agreement
した約
is
束
with
は
Yase's
お前
demon
を江戸
princess
まで連
was
れて
that I
行く
would
という
escort you to Edo.
Yase clan, an ancient demon clan based in Kyo. They are one of the oldest demon clans and used to govern them all. Used to govern them all.
They used to. I guess they still kind of do, but like not in like a direct way like they used to. Like it sounds like they kind of used to have like a demon kingdom, but it's become less like centralized. Yeah.
Cause
But-
they all separated and hid and all
Yes.
that shit.
Yes. But if they need to meet, they still do it with the at the Yases, at least in the West.
Yeah.
I never promised I'd help you talk some sense into Kodo or Nagamo Kaoru.
But the entire reason we returned to Edo was to stop them.
That's right, I'm going to kill them. Do you believe, truly, that they'll listen to you?
Cosmo raised a good point, and I thought back to what happened during the Battle of Toba Fushimi. Nothing I said had gotten through to either of them. In spite of that encounter, I asked Cosmo a question.
Kazuma, do you plan on killing my father and brother?
Cosmo didn't give me a straight answer. But he didn't deny it. He refused to look me in the eye, choosing instead to stare blankly ahead.
Their army of fakes will only increase as time goes on. Do not go near them. They are not an opponent that you can handle. Understood?
He spoke in a hushed tone. Without another word, Cosmo vanished into the crowd of people bustling down Edo's streets. I realized too late that I hadn't properly thanked Cosmo for safely escorting me back to Edo. He'd been the Shinsengumi's enemy. He had no reason to associate with me at this point. I understood that. But what was I supposed to do now? To prevent the terrifying expansion of Father's army of furies, Cosmo only had one option. Finding Father and Kaoru, then killing them. I had to do everything in my power to stop him. And so I headed to the only place I knew. My childhood home, which had been left unattended while I'd been gone. Part of me clung to the naive hope that Father would be there waiting for me, but the yard was overgrown with weeds and the floor was coated in a thick layer of dust. It seemed a few others have visited here since my departure. Just where could Father be? During our last conversation, he seemed set on building momentum with his army of furies, toppling the shogun and increasing his notoriety, but was that what he really wanted to do? As I looked around the room, I recalled how Father had used this place to treat patients. Oh yay, gay!
It's me. I get
Yes.
to actually say something. Wow.
Yeah, you're no longer along for commentary.
I'm no longer a commentary person. You appear to have contracted food poisoning. I have something I can prescribe, but be sure to stay hydrated.
That would have been a perfect moment for Faye to just come along and drink water.
Yeah.
Fade, we miss you. Stay safe.
Fade.
Yeah.
I'm worried. What's that? You don't have any money? Not to worry. Feel Please feel free to repay me whenever you get the chance.
Blah blah blah. I don't
Blah,
say blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Do that with salmon. Shizuru-chan, would you mind fetching me some of the stomach medicine from the storage room?
Father treated every patient with care, regardless of their income status or how severe their illness was. No matter how high the fees were, he never hounded those who could not pay. He was a cherished, well-respected member of our community. And it all changed once he had the fucking water of life. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it did. I think that's what it is too. I think once he got his hands on the Ochimizu is when he started thinking about it.
Like properly thinking about it. Like, it was always there, it's just that was the tipping point.
Yeah, it brought it out in him.
Surely all of this had to be a misunderstanding. How could my kind and gentle father conduct gruesome experiments with the water of life to assist the new Empire of Japan? Empire of Japan! The new government centered around the emperor. The Satsuma and Shoshu were the leaders in its creation. How could he not feel anything about creating new furies one after the other? I grew angry thinking about it when I heard the front door creak as it slid open. Who could it be? Was it... I froze out, slowly turning my head to look over my shoulder.
Is someone there?
His voice was unmistakable. Father? I called out to him shakily in response, and watched a silhouette slink towards me quietly.
Chizuru-chan, you have returned to Edo as well, have you? I am so happy you're safe. I was worried you might have gotten swept up in the battle, or worse.
I could see tears well up in Father's eyes. I knew that expression so well. I almost convinced myself that our last conversation was nothing but a bad dream. But I knew better.
Where's Kaoru? Is he not with you?
Indeed. I have ordered him to complete another assignment.
There were no Furies nearby as far as I could tell. This may be my only opportunity to convince my father.
Father, answer me something.
Riddle me this, Batman.
The fuck?
Sorry.
Do you really plan on creating more Furies for the Imperial Army?
Chizuru-chan.
That can't be what you really want, is it? Father, didn't you dedicate your life to becoming a doctor in order to help those who were suffering?
Every night, Father pored over books on Western studies and medicine. Western book, a book with studies, culture, and technologies brought over to Japan by the Dutch.
Grandpa.
He gave every last bit of himself to try and find a way to help the sick and dying. There was no way that level of dedication could have faded so easily.
1 second, I'm yawning. Right. Unlike you, my child, I am not a direct descendant of the Yukimura clan. As a member of the branch family, my blood is diluted, and I am not much different from a human. As a child, I nearly succumbed to a severe illness. This is what motivated me to put forth all of my energy into practicing Western medicine. It It was a desperate wish to save those who suffered like me.
Western medicine, medical treatment using Western practices and techniques.
Pull the baby out with a forceps. That's obstetricians at this point in time.
Oh.
It was a new science. It had only been around like 25 years.
Huh.
Yeah.
Father, so...
It was just as I expected. Father still possessed an innate desire to care for others. My joy was short-lived as Father continued.
But you see, Chizuru-chan, no matter how much medicine evolves, humans are twice as efficient at creating tools of destruction, starting wars, and killing each other. If this vicious cycle continues, there will be more and more poor, lonely orphans like you in Kao.
Jeez.
I cannot, in good conscience, allow these imbeciles to run the country into the ground.
The mood in the room suddenly shifted. I gazed in horror as Father's body began to radiate a blinding aura. And then...
Did he flashbang you?
Like flashbang.
Father? Two sharp horns poked through his forehead, akin to a demon's I had seen in picture scrolls. His eyes were slowly changing to gold, holding an ominous glimmer.
What's going on?
Witness the demon's true form, Chizuru-chan.
Demon's true form?
My ancestors bred with humans, and so my blood runs thin. But I have found a way to unlock the potential residing within me. Thanks to my serum, the precious water of life, my demon blood has been awakened.
You mean you've drunk the water of life?
Exactly.
Words failed me. It felt like I was trapped inside a nightmare. Not only had Father been creating furies, but now he himself was a fury as well.
It's just the update.
He drank the water of life to become a fury and awaken his powers as a demon. Yay!
Does that mean if Mikoto drank the water of life, she turned into a demon instead of a fury? That would be fucking awesome.
Actually, yeah, there you go.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Pretty cool.
He'd taken the vile serum.
Between myself and Kaoru, who is also able to utilize his full potential, and an army of furies unencumbered by sunlight. No one can oppose us. With this serum at our disposal, never again will we be at the mercy of humans.
No!
I couldn't believe he'd go this far. My time with the Shinsengumi has taught me a valuable lesson. When many people with different opinions gathered, it was incredibly difficult to make everyone move as a whole. Even with furies. No, precisely because there would be furies. There was no possible way things would go exactly as my father planned.
Father, please snap out of this. Do you truly believe that you will be able to easily curry favor with the Imperial Army and eventually usurp power in the process?
Even the Shinsengumi had often been frustrated and disillusioned with how the shogunate made use of them. It was hard to believe Father and Kaoru would be capable of holding their own against their human allies.
If the Imperial Army ever decides to exploit and dispose of us, I am ignoring that typo, cheese.
Eh?
It's a typo. Every decides.
Oh,
If
I
the
see.
Imperial army ever decides. Yep.
Every decides. Ever. Then we simply have to annihilate every last one of them. We certainly have the means to do so. Genocide is the answer, even though genocide was committed against us. That's how it works in these things.
Jesus.
What?
Father's golden eyes beamed with an electrifying, almost unrecognizable madness.
I mean, he did drink the water of life. That kind of comes with the territory.
我々と共に来るのだ。
Now, come with us.
純潔の女王に
As a
というお前が
pure-blooded
破節と
demon,
交わ
by
れ
mating with the Furies, we can guarantee your offspring will be even stronger. Don't say that. I can't believe I had to say that out loud. And it's going to be worse in other rounds.
It is! It is going to be
Oh
worse.
my god. God, what do you call an insufferable nag that insists on you wasting your potential? I don't know what. I'd call her a narrow-minded, mean-spirited, spiteful bitch, but you call her mother and then gut punch.
そうなれば
Then our clan, the Yukimura clan, will give rise to a new generation of demons. We will be able to exact our revenge on the demons of the West who left us to
成し
die.
遂げることができるのだよ。
Father wore a malicious smirk as he extended his hand out towards me.
Jesus, let's take ibuprofen together.
God damn it! No. No thanks. No. I tried to run, but Father was right behind me and grabbed my arm in a vice grip.
Stop! Let go of me!
I desperately tried to shake him off, just as the panic began to set in.
ヨタ話は大概にしろ。
Midget!
Rajat,
Shut your mouth, you imbecile.
支援に取りつかれて正気をなくした者に。
A bitter old man consumed by grudges would never be fit to rule a new generation of demons.
That voice.
Kazuma, what are you doing here?
I asked, unable to believe my eyes. He responded with a glare, not even trying to hide his displeasure.
それはこちらのセリフだ。
I could ask you the same question.
she lived here, jackass.
今後こやつらには一切関わるなと言っておいたはずだ。
I thought I ordered you to stay away from him, so why are you here?
She lived here, jackass.
Well,
I couldn't think of an answer off the top of my head, and so Kazuma shifted his angered gaze towards Father.
長い者どもを増やすのみならず。
Not only have you committed the crime of creating more fakes, but now you stooped low enough to become one of them?
貴様はよほどこの俺に切り捨てられたいと見える。
It appears as though you're practically begging me to stick this sword into your gut, aren't you?
Kazuma spat out a low, bitter tone. Kazuma spat out in a low, bitter tone. He drew his sword in one smooth motion. Something about it caught my attention. Rather
Oh
than
no, it's the special sword.
it's a special sword. Rather than reflect the light in the room, as a katana normally would, it produced its own shimmering gleam.
落ち水のもんだと。
Did you think drinking the water of life would give you the strength to stand up to me, Kodo? Yeah, he no longer has that calm and collected voice that he has. He is very irate right now.
Yeah. There we go. Ugh.
Father ground his teeth. He seemed to realize that fighting Kazuma would be no easy feat. After
Good
a
thing he's
moment,
gonna call.
Father suddenly shoved me towards Kazuma. I braced myself to hit the floor, thinking Kazuma would sidestep to avoid me and charge at Father.
That would be the smart thing to do.
Or so I thought. What happened? The fuck is this?
Carnivore natures.
Wait, hold on. What the
The bashful one is fucking cursed.
Wait,
The one that I
Jolly!
have.
Jolly is my favorite.
Jolly is so cute!
It's a jolly lolly.
Oh, okay.
No!
No, why'd you do that?
Why did you do that? You ruined it.
Ah! What a fucker.
God, I hate them. I hate how they all have massive tits, for the most part.
I mean, yeah, for the most part.
Anyway, or so I thought. It said he caught me as if it were the most natural thing to do. 5 seconds ago, I expected to fall face first onto the floor. But now this? Father seized this opportunity to bolt towards the back door.
待てコード
Kodo, wait!
He was eating Reese's peanut butter cups on sad again.
Oh god. Oh god.
The thing of it is, that bag is actually behind me.
Oh no. Cosmo chased after him, but I feel like I gotta make that a comic now.
Zama just munching Reese's peanut butter cups.
I should have guessed that route would have slipped from my fingers.
Father had completely disappeared. I flinched as Kazuma turned his cold glare onto me.
Thank you for saving me.
Drink.
Oh, drink. Oh, shit. Yeah. No. I think I have to do a BRB.
Okay.
Or is it? Okay. BRB.
About 48% of the Chinese participants of a study endured stigma towards autism. Only 14% of American participants did so. Yeah, but that doesn't mean ableism isn't wider spread further than that in both countries. I'm sorry. 14% of Americans saying they would pick on autistic people doesn't mean that more people aren't ableist than that. I don't know what to tell you. I can personally tell you my experience as an autistic person, not fun. Most people are extremely ableist and don't even realize. Being mentally ill, not fun. Literally, the only reason I'm researching autism like attitudes, I guess, in Japan is because of a Hakuoki fanfic I'm writing.
Plega.
Wait.
Plega.
Welcome back, Pikachu.
Yay.
I bowed my head politely, but the corners of his mouth only twitched in a bitter smile.
礼には及ば
Your
ぬ
thanks are
そんなこと
unnecessary.
よりも
I
先
asked
ほ
you
ど
a
の問いに
question.
答えてもらう
Answer me.
こたびの一件にはもう関わるなという言いつけを
I told you not to go anywhere near them nor pursue them. So why did you disobey me?
Because you don't fucking own her.
How should I answer?
This involves me too.
Yeah.
This involves me too?
Yay!
Because I am a member of the Yukimura clan. If my father and brother are plotting to commit these heinous crimes, then I can't let the entire burden fall on you.
この間俺が言っていたことを聞いてい
Were
る
you not listening to what I told you before?
女鬼は男鬼に比べれば非力だ
The demon women are weak in comparison to the men. Your presence does not benefit me whatsoever.
Cosmo gets a smack to the back of the head.
Your presence doesn't benefit me either, but I don't see me complaining about it.
I understand that, but if you were in my shoes, Kazuma, would you do as you're told? Could you honestly live with passing on your burden to someone else?
That got his attention real quick. My question seemed to have caught Cosmo off guard. He gazed at me inquisitively, and together we were silent as the wind rustled branches outside. After a long, awkward pause,
And there's the love point.
雪村の棟梁筋としての自覚が皆無というわけではない。
I see. It seems you are entirely unaware. It seems you are entirely unaware of your status as head of the Yukimura clan.
really, Cosmo?
However, I must ask that you refrain from acting so recklessly.
I must ask.
give
Give him. Oh my god, my immediate thing was Kazama with a mustache.
What?
Fucking Okita sliding up to him, being like, "I must ask you a question."
God damn it.
And he's gonna go around like Vegeta did. Mustache, 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 mustache.
Jesus Christ.
I must ask you a question.
Oh.
Those who misjudge their own capabilities aren't fit to lead.
I understand.
Wow, I can't believe I agreed with you on something. What the fuck?
That being said, it troubles me that they tried to abduct you the moment you left my sight. Come with me. Stay with me until I've disposed of them all.
Wait a minute, you're disturbed that somebody tried to kidnap me?
Yeah,
Sir?
that's my job.
Yeah, only I'm allowed to kidnap you, obviously. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure, insane aggravation.
Cosmo was spoken differently, then turned around to head back into town. How far did they go? Of course, I was still against him murdering my father and brother, but I suppose it was far better than being left alone without any clue of what they were doing. I hurried after Cosmo as we left my house behind. By the time we returned back to the center of town, the sun had set completely.
Edo was big. It housed 1 million people. It's not a small place.
Cosmo let me to an inn he'd reserved for us to stay in and rest. Upon arriving, we were greeted by a familiar face.
Hello.
I don't remember.
I don't either. I don't know who this
It's
is.
only 1 to 2 people. There,
Oosh.
okay.
Himigiku.
Nope.
Oh,
Amagiri.
Amagiri. It's either Amagiri or Himigiku.
Amagiri was there waiting for us.
お二人とも
I'm glad to see you've made it here back here safely.
守備の方はどうだった
Have you managed to settle things?
皮肉か。
Are you being sarcastic?
この俺の
Do I
顔見れば
look
大
like
方の
everything is
嘘は
over?
つくだろう。
Kazama's incapable of making
お
friends.
前の方は
Nah.
どうだ。
Boo?
Yeah, enough. Tell me, what have you uncovered?
He's not a fucking archaeologist.
I have a
説明
report
に
ready.
少々時間をいただきます
It is quite long.
Amagiri answered coolly, glancing over at me after he spoke. Was he implying that I needed to step up? Suddenly,
この娘も雪村の
This girl is a descendant of the Yukimura. She has the right to listen.
無論当人に聞く覚悟があるのならだ
Of course, if she is ready to hear it.
in typical fashion, Cosmo was speaking about me in a dismissive manner, but he seemed like he would respect my agency one way or the other. No matter what
Yeah,
Amagiri had to say.
It's been a long road to get here.
Oh, God. We are here at a respect of sorts. It only took 4 years.
No, it took 4 years.
If it had anything to do with Father and Kaudu, then I couldn't possibly leave.
I am ready for whatever it is you have to say. Please continue.
Amagiri nodded deeply, taking a deep breath as he began his report.
南雲薫についてですが
With regards to Nagamo Kaoru,
どうやら彼は今
he appears to be in
ザハ
Kofu
ン氏
with
たちと
warriors
共
of
に
the
甲府に
Tosa
いるよう
domain.
です
Tosa Domain, a domain ruled by Yamauchi, an outer daimyo. The domain supported imperial unification, but many Ronin from the Tosa region were national imperialists.
しかも行動が改良を加えた新
Make
型の
matters
羅刹を
worse,
率い
he
て
has an entourage of Kodo's enhanced furies with him as well. I'm pretty sure Cosmo just let out an audible.
Yeah. Kofu. If I remembered correctly, that's where the Shinsengumi had been headed. If Kaoru was leading a battalion of Furies along with members of the Imperial Army to wherever the Shinsengumi was marching, then it meant Imperial Army, led by the Sacho troops, a westernized army using state-of-the-art weapons, also made up of various troops from domains that submitted to the Empire of Japan.
It's a Doctor Who thing. I'll scratch his eyes out.
Oh, that's right. God damn it, I miss Missy.
I know.
Ah!
新選組の連中は甲府で新型の羅刹と相まみ
It looks like the Shinsengumi will have their hands tied with these furies at Kofu.
はいその通り
Yes, exactly.
I couldn't stop shaking. Would everyone be safe?
We'll be fine, except for all the people who died.
And look, nobody got hurt. Well, nobody we know.
was just all the new recruits we picked up, those that didn't desert when they found out the castle was occupied. It's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
the 100 or so people left. No biggie.
No biggie. We can just shrug it off.
The Shinsengumi has suffered numerous casualties during the Battle of Toba Fushimi, and on top of that, Okita-san, according to Matsumoto-sensei, was still bedridden and in no condition to fight.
Except he was at the Battle of Kofu in real life. So.
Eh?
He was.
He was?
He was. He was at the Battle of Kofu in real life.
Ha! Well, at least one of my routes will be accurate, then.
Yep, he was at the Battle of Kofu in real life. Yep.
And which route would that be?
His. Is it Yamazaki?
No.
Is it his?
It's Soji's.
It's Soji's.
It's Soji's. For reasons that we'll find out eventually.
Can't keep the borderline personality disorder boy down. He's got a BPD with about Kondo.
Okita Soji, captain of Shinsengumi's 1st Division. He returned to Edo but suffers from tuberculosis and is bedridden.
Certainly, the Imperial Army, currently, the Imperial Army and the Shogunate are negotiating at Edo Castle.
And by the Shogunate, he means that Katsukaishu bastard.
If these talks break down,
they won't. Let's see you again.
Then Edo will be consumed by flames. The perfect opportunity for Kodo and Kaoru to allow their furies to feast on blood. Yes, I assume that they will reorganize their furies and march them back onto Edo as soon as possible. But then again, there aren't too many areas in which they can hide such a large army.
Just pull Pirates of the Caribbean and just put them dead ass in the river.
Gentlemen, take a walk.
I love that.
Not to the boats? No.
Anyway.
The Nagamo clan is affiliated with Tosa, are they not? How oddly coincidental.
Nagamo clan, a demon clan based in the Tosa domain.
Thanks, we knew that already.
At least it's not spoiling shit.
That's true. Hey, Reese's cops.
For now, keep an eye on their movements.
I was suddenly drenched in cold sweat, and I couldn't stop shaking. Edo might become an ocean of fire. If so, then the ones who suffer would be the innocent civilians who had no way of fighting back. To be fair, Edo has been set on fire way too many fucking times.
I was going to say, Edo literally has like a super dedicated fire department in like multiple areas of the city. They've been set on fire so many times. If anyone can deal with being set on fire, it's Edo.
You could just be, Edo could be on fire and everybody around it just be like, it could be worse.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, and Edo probably. They're looking at a fire, they're like, I've seen worse fires.
I've seen worse fires in my days. It horrified me to imagine sacrificing an entire city to gain power. And to make matters worse, my father would take this opportunity to feed his furies.
Not if Sonnen can
と
help
なる
it.
と長州側の動きも気に
Sonnen is killing your father's fairies for fun and sport.
What? Now that we're on the subject, I am rather curious about what the Choshu are planning next as well.
Shenanigans.
薩摩の連中には
I
俺の方
plan
か
on
ら
warning
忠告
the,
しておく
warning the Satsuma officials about this matter, of course, but
長州が行動や南雲薫の口車に乗せら
if
れて
Kodo and Kadu already have made pawns out of the Choshu, then this will be all for naught.
知らぬいから伝え
We
ても
will
らいます
have Shiranui to convey them to them. I shall alert him at once. Oh, look at that. He's still relevant.
Oh yeah,
痩せの里
he
で
is.
会った時以来
He shows back up in the later
戦場で
chapter
も
and so
彼
he's
の
sending
姿は
to
見かけませんでしたが
I think at the end of this chapter is when he shows. Well, actually, either the end or the scene right after this.
However, I have seen little of him since we last met in Yase village, even on the battlefield. That's troubling. He may no longer wish to involve himself in this war.
Amagiri left us with that, bowing lightly as he exited the room. Cosma stood still for a moment before turning to me.
出かけてくる。お前は
I am
先に
stepping
休め
out. Get some rest.
Oh, yes. Please be careful.
I'm gonna go out here and eat my peanut butter cups in peace.
お前はみだりに外を出歩かぬようにしろ。
Unless you are confronted with an emergency, you are forbidden from leaving this building. Got it?
You can't fucking tell her what to do.
I just fucking did, you
I
fake.
don't call me that. I will show up in your route to kick your ass.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
No. No.
Do you want one of his peanut butter cups?
Yeah, Kazama, give me one of your peanut butter cups.
Okay, he proceeds to put every single one of them in his mouth and hands one to you.
Oh my
Jesus
fucking god, I
Christ.
hate you, Chica. Chicago, his mouth just bursting with peanut butter cups. What are you, a fucking chipmunk? Ichikata smashes his cheeks together.
Because they all just come right at his face.
They just come right out. I'm just like, why did I do?
I think
Why did I
Hanukkah
do
would just
this?
be losing it.
To be fair, that is kind of what I imagine their relationship like in a more modern.
Oh, Jesus.
You will also lose to me every single time we play badminton.
That's because badminton's for
昼間の
sissy
ような出来
bitches.
事がまた起きぬとも限らぬか。
He kept on losing to Amagiri.
Eh?
Or no, Shiranui, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no telling when today's events might repeat themselves.
I understand.
Good.
I
He
saw
grabs his bag of peanut butter cups.
Oh God. I saw him off, then went to my room and prepared my bedding. As soon as my head hit my pillow, I fell fast asleep. I wish I had whatever magic that is.
Yeah, right?
Tease her or teach me your way.
My dad seems to be able to do that. I think my sister does. My mom and I, no.
In
Yeah, my dad can do this.
in my deep
Why
sleep-
is it about dads that enabled them to be able to, like, do this?
I
You
don't
can
know.
become a father and then you can just fall asleep and die.
Believe me, I'm fucking working on it. It's also been over. Well, we can keep going, I guess.
We'll find a stopping point. I
Yeah, we
think I
will.
know where the stopping point is. I think because
Okay,
it'll
I
be,
trust you.
It'll be long. In my deep slumber, a dream came to me. Oh no, a dream sequence.
He dreams of SSL.
I was being I was being dragged out of a familiar home. All I could see were bright red flames reaching high into the sky.
Chizuru! Chizuru, this way!
A familiar figure not too far from my own age was leading me somewhere.
It's the brat.
The burning village evoked a strange feeling of deja vu. Beside us was a small hill where I'd often picked flowers, and the pen that housed our livestock. Everything was engulfed in red flames, and from the distance I could hear shrieks of terror. What was going on? Who could possibly do such an awful thing? Were
Tokugawa Shogun.
Were father and mother safe? As my mind swirled with anxiety.
Damn it! The fire spread here too!
Flames blocked our path, encroaching towards us slowly. Just then,
カオル君、千鶴ちゃん、こちらへ。
Oh, hang on, I got a phone call.
Oh, that's
Yes,
me.
yes.
Hey, that is me. Kaoru, Chizuru, this way.
a voice frantically called out to us. He was one of my relatives.
早く捕まりなさい。
Quickly, grab a hold of
炎
me.
に巻かれて
The
しまう。
flames will catch up to us.
I did as he instructed, grabbing onto his arm. The man hauled us both into his arms and ran into the safety of the forest.
ここまで来れば。もう
We've
大
run
丈夫だ。
far enough. I don't think the fire can reach us here.
Uncle, why did this happen?
どうしていきなりこんなことに。
Where's our father? And mother
お
too!
父様とお母様は。
Suddenly I realized who this boy was. It was my twin brother, Kaoru. I wish they had the children's sparks.
Me too.
相当の大火事だったからな。
That fire spread too far.
あるまい。
There's nothing we can do.
And this man was.
それにしても人間たちは。
Humans have done some. How could the humans have done such a brutal thing?
倒幕の誘いを
Are they punishing us for refusing to overthrow the shogunate? They light our families, our homes on fire for wanting peace?
On that night, a distant relative had saved us from being burned alive. He later assumed the role of my father and raised me, Yukimura Kodo. Yukimura Kodo, the protagonist's adoptive father. Although he is a member of the Yukimura clan, he is not the protagonist's biological father.
Thanks, we figured that out.
Yay. When I awoke, tears were streaming down my cheeks. This was a memory I'd buried deep within me. Now it was all coming back. That night, our village was set on fire, and my beloved parents were murdered. Kaoru had told me before. He would rule over the humans that had destroyed our village. Father made one thing abundantly clear. Continuing to allow humans to rule would only produce more orphans like Kaoru and myself. I did not think that utilizing furies to gain control over the humans was right. But I also realized that I couldn't simply declare it to be wrong either. A knock at my door snapped me out of my stupor. Oh,
I'll just do it.
okay.
It's probably. Pardon me for intruding. Are you awake?
From the other side of the door, I heard the inn's attendant calling out to me.
Oh, yes. What is it?
Alright, I'm back.
In time.
I have
It's time for my mother to call. I had no speaking lines up until. Well, I'll let you have this.
I have a guest asking for you. May I send him in?
A guest?
Who could it be?
One moment, please. Just let me put my bedding away.
Oh, come on, Chizuru. I've seen it before.
Nope.
No.
I know who it is. After I tidied up my room, the attendant slid open the door and ushered in my surprise visitor.
Oh, what's this? It's just you here?
Shiranui, what are you doing here?
I think it should be obvious. Amagiri summoned me, so I came, but... It looks like I'm a little late.
It would appear so. Amagiri seems to have been very busy recently.
Yeah.
However, I believe Kazuma will be returning momentarily.
Oh, goody. That's so? I guess it wouldn't hurt for me to stick around and kill some time then?
Shiranui studied my room meticulously and, eyeing a spot to sit, plopped himself on the floor.
I will never forget the first time one of my friends saw him, and they were like, he dresses like a lesbian.
Hi, Lucy.
Oh.
Lucy is in the chat.
Hi. Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
Ah.
Plopped himself onto the floor.
Plop. I watched nervously as he pulled his pistol from its holster and inspected it carefully for any smudges.
I mean, it's like a silver-colored revolver with a chrome grip on it. Or no, a pearl grip. That's it. Hmm? What is it?
Is it true that Edo might be the center of the next battle soon?
God, I fucking hope so.
I'm worried about something Kazuma said, that I might be engulfed in flames soon.
As I expressed my concerns, Shiranui suddenly froze, holding his pistol still in his hand.
Well, it probably will.
No! But Shogunate supporters and soldiers aren't the only ones living here.
Yeah, and that's war for you.
How can they just let that happen? Does the Imperial Army truly believe the citizens will obey them if they do such a thing?
The vivid memory of my village consumed by fire struck me once more. If Edo were similarly engulfed in flames, then hundreds of people would burn to death. This time, there wouldn't be only 2 orphans. Thousands of children would be displaced, if not worse.
Hey, calm down. As we speak, the Satsuma Shogunate leaders are discussing this whole thing at Edo Castle.
I do really, as much as I bitch about Kashu, I really do appreciate that he was able to broker the surrender of Edo.
Yeah.
And there was only really fighting on, like, the outskirts of the city. It's, like, a really good thing that happened, because it would have been really devastating if fighting had actually happened in Edo.
Luckily, they managed to get your Shinsengumi friends as far away from Edo as possible, too. Yeah, I feel like he would say that.
Huh?
I didn't grasp the significance behind what Shiranui had said at first, and I prompted him to clarify.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, did they not tell you? The Shogunate has no intention of letting Edo fall under siege or be burnt to the ground. So, they sent those dumbasses who don't get that their actions had consequences off on a wild goose chase.
You know, for some reason, it annoys me less when you say it. Probably because some part of you, like, respects that they're still trying to fight, and I know that.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that you look at the situation with more nuance than fucking Chikage does. So I guess you are allowed to call the Shinsengumi dumbasses. Congratulations, Shiranui.
That, and I got a bromance going on with that spear wielder, too.
You do.
I will say, from the last time that I did Cosmos Route, this one anyway, I remember liking Shiranui and Amagiri 100% more than whatever Kazuma had going on.
Yeah, I know. I don't like Kazuma. I just think my main problem with him is that he's better as an antagonist in other people's routes than he is as the star of his own because he's just so fucking.
Yeah. Also, this room made me cry, and not because of Kazuma.
When did you cry?
Oh, it's at the end of this chapter, I believe.
Is
Right.
it when Karu dies?
No. I didn't like the
Sorry,
brat
spoilers.
yet. I didn't like the brat yet at this point.
Mm,
I think it was in Okita's that I liked the brat.
Yeah, okay. He's really good. He's really good
Yes.
in Okita's route. He's
Spoiled. So
You wouldn't be spoiled if you were paying attention to the channel at all.
Yeah. So yeah. Plus, the Imperialist Party's got a score to settle with the Shitsugumi.
Oh god.
I'll read it.
Yeah.
Refers to those who abided by the slogan "Revere the Emperor, expel the barbarians." So no joy. Barbarians being the Westerners. Their philosophy was that overthrowing the shogunate and returning power to the emperor was necessary to fight against Western aggression. Position was held by Choshu and Satsuma during the early Bakumatsu period, but not at this point anymore because they've adopted Westernism. Ironically, they've adopted Western imperialism.
Haruka has some words. Shiranui revealed that the shogunate hadn't sent the Shinsengumi on a mission to tackle Imperial Army forces in Kofu after all. Rather, the shogunate had sent them away from Edo so that they wouldn't get in the way of negotiations with the Sacho. And even worse, furies were waiting for them there. As I put the pieces together, I nearly fainted.
Yeah, they walked into a trap.
I thought I heard a familiar voice. There you are, Shiranui. Hey, don't look so surprised. You're the one that called me up. Let's cut to the chase. I'm a busy man, you know. There are some questions I want answered. It won't take much of your time. Boop, 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 boop.
Kazuma recounted what had occurred to Shiranui. He mentioned encountering my father in Edo, and described in great detail father's plot to gather blood in order to feed his army of furies. The most crucial detail, however, was father's proposition to use his army of furies to manipulate the Choshu into doing his bidding.
I see. I gotcha. Well, what do you say? Do you expect the Choshu to fall prey to his little schemes? As much as I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, Omura is currently the commander of Choshu's army. He's crazy. Crazier than Takasugi ever was.
That's a fucking statement. Holy shit!
Omura
Takasugi. Yeah.
Masushiro, a former doctor who becomes instrumental in leading the Choshu domain to victory against the shogunate. A former doctor!
Omura.
The pain will only lead to the healing.
Oh, Jesus.
What do you
What do
mean
you-
by crazy?
The guy's a maniac whenever it comes to strategy. He's undefeated in battle, and everything he knows, he learned from Western tactics.
He's a maniac on
He's
the floor.
His type tends to come out of the woodworks when huge changes are afoot.
Wasn't
He thought would have done so
What?
anyway.
Was it?
9.
I know.
Wasn't he the one in charge of the army during the second Choshu expedition?
Ah, more exposition.
Choshu expedition. The shogunate twice attempted to subjugate the Choshu domain, which had become enemies of the court. Both attempts failed.
This is, in this case, this is the Choshu exposition.
Oh, Jesus.
ああ
Yo
こ
ho
の大村と俺が合
Bingo
意
bango, girl. It was Omura Takasugi who I was guarding at the time.
The fact that he calls Omura more insane than Takasugi is insane because Takasugi is insane.
During the second Choshu expedition, the shogunate commanded an army of over 150,000 soldiers. But in the end, they were unable to stop so much as a foot In the end, they were unable to step so much as a foot in Choshu and were forced to retreat. If the one responsible for that decisive victory was now at the helm of Choshu's entire army, then would the shogunate soldiers, much less the Shinsengumi, have any chance of survival?
大村なら
They'll take a castle like once and then defeat the Matsumune and be sitting ducks for like an entire like winter and then die. So the answer is no.
If I know Omura, then I don't see him rejecting the offer to use Furies if it guarantees the Imperial Army's victory.
何せ今回の戦には薩摩との手柄争いってものが
Plus,
あるから
the Sazuma have a lot to gain from embarrassing the shogunate in battle too.
At one point, the Satsuma and Choshu domains had been locked in a fierce rivalry of their own. Once Tokugawa had been toppled for good, one could see how they might start fighting over control of the country.
They did, and the Choshu won. So
くだらん
hey, Reese's.
Ridiculous.
The only thing Kazuha hated more than mankind was its greed, and he made no secret of his disdain.
But man, he loves Reese's peanut butter cups.
Beat him up, beat him up, beat him up, beat him up.
Oh God.
Oh god.
Get a new, please.
Shiranui, please.
Oh,
You must convince the Choshu not to use the Furies.
I'll do what I can.
Neither humans nor demons can handle them. Even if they win the war, it's only a matter of time until they bring this country to ruin.
分かってるって
I know. I know.
長州はまがい
Honestly, just the idea of Choshu relying on a bunch of fakes to win their battle for them makes me sick to my stomach.
Ah, Shiranui uses it.
Good job, Shiranui.
俺さ
Leave the rest to me, little girl.
頼りに
Now I want to do the fucking Reese's Puffs meme. Fucking Hikari Kasama, literally just because of the
It would
fucking...
be it would be, let's see. No, I feel like it would be these three. It would be Kazuma, Shiranui, and Amagiri.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm sorry, but CPR is Shiranui.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the exact same thought process.
Oh God.
CPR is Shiranui, and Misery is Amagiri, and we have to give Reese's Puffs to
yes,
Kasama.
yes.
I am in misery. For Amagiri.
Anyway.
Can we depend on you, Shiranui?
てめえ
Yeah.
少しは
Hey,
鬼の
I
よう
learned.
にし
Hey, learn to trust your kid, you bastard.
Yeah, thanks. Call him out.
用事はそれだけだな
This is why we love
Yeah.
Shiranui.
俺はそろそろ退散させてもらうぜ
That's it then. That's all you have to say. Then I guess I'll be on my own way now.
Shiranui delicately placed his pistol back into its holster, smirking wryly as he stood up.
I had to teach her Rye.
Yes. Without another word, he sauntered out of the room.
Bye, bitch. but you're not a bitch. But that's like a good bitch. Like, bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah, like that.
A few days later,
A few days
we received
later.
word that the tense negotiations between leaders of the Satsuma Choshu and the shogunate had concluded. Hoping to avoid further losses, the shogunate peacefully surrendered control of Edo Castle over to the Sacho. To my relief, Edo and its citizens were spared of a catastrophic outcome. Unfortunately, word of the surrender came long after the Shinsengumi had already departed Edo for Kofu. I later learned that neither Nagakura nor Harada were seen amongst the Shinsengumi's ranks. Oh no. Nagakura is Shinpachi, captain of the Shinsengumi's 2nd Division. He is a skilled swordsman. He is upbeat and cheerful and frequently helps to raise the morale of the men under his command. Nagakura is hype man.
Yeah, Nagakura is the hype man.
Harada Sanosuke, captain of the Shinsengumi's 10th Division. He is very skilled with the spear, which is his weapon of choice. There is a scar on his stomach from an attempt at honorable suicide.
So he grew up in an island near Kiel, and it was a court official that goaded him into doing that. So it kind of explains why he did it.
Oh god.
Mm.
Why? As for Okita-san, his condition had worsened to the point that merely holding his sword was enough to exhaust him. My curiosity was driving me up the wall, and I wanted to know exactly what was happening, but Matsumoto-sensei was very busy, and letters from him were becoming fewer and farther between.
Yeah, because he's the entire shogunate's, like, lead doctor.
Yeah. Around that time, rumors that Kondo-san had surrendered to the Imperial Army spread all through Edo. Oh god.
Don't do this
No!
to me! Don't do this to me! Why is this being mentioned in this route? Why are you doing it?
One of the founders, Kondo Isami, one of the founders of the Shinsengumi, an organization created to help keep the peace in Kyo. He is originally from Edo. And so
Gotcha!
April came around.
Gotcha.
This is where we stop.
Alright.
This is where it ends.
Yes, this is
Right after finding that Kachan is going to be executed. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Dad.
Alright. Let me take a look here.
Oh.
Who all do we have? Jace, Grotto, Fee, Akia. Meg is doing art currently.
I don't remember the last time. Oh, it's a streamiversary. Hold on. Fucking Grotto it is.
Alright.
Okay.
With that out of the way, we could go. Well, tomorrow to Persona 3
and
afternoon,
and then
then
this.
back to this at night.
Sunday is Stardew Valley and more Persona 3 Reload, and Monday is
And then-
Hakuoki Altered.
Yeah. All right. Now that's done. Please drink water.
Have a good day or night.
Try not to die because you didn't drink water. Let's go reading, everybody.